In Virtual Play, Sex Harassment is All Too Real by Amy O'Leary. When Miranda Pacosdi entered the Cross Assault video game tournament this year, she knew she had a slim chance of winning the $25,000 prize. But she was ready to compete and promised fans watching online that she would train just as hard as, if not harder, than anyone else. Over 6 days of competition, though her team's coach, Aries Bakhtianis, interrogated her on camera about her bra size, said, "Take off your shirt," and focused the team's webcam on her chest, feet, and legs. He leaned in over her shoulder and smelled her. Miss Pagosdi, 25, an experienced gamer, has said she always expects a certain amount of trash talk. But as the only woman on the team, this was too much, especially from her coach, she said. It was after she overheard Mr. Bakhtianin's defending sexual harassment as part of the fighting gaming community that she forfeited the game. Sexism, racism, homophobia, and general name calling are long-standing facts of life in certain corners of online video games. But the Cross Assault episode was the first of a series this year that have exposed the severity of the harassment that many women experience in virtual gaming communities, and a backlash on Twitter, in videos, on blogs, and even in an online comic strip has moved the issue of harassment to public calls for change. Executives in the $25 billion a year gaming industry are taking note. One game designer's call for civility prompted a meeting with Microsoft executives about how to better monitor Xbox Live. In February, shortly after the Cross Assault tournament, an internet broadcaster called Level Up got rid of 2 commentators who joked about sexual harassment on camera. Level Up then issued a formal apology, including statements from the commentators. Even so, Tom Cannon, co-founder of the largest fighting game, EVO, pulled his company's sponsorship of the weekly Level Up series, saying that we cannot continue to let ignorant, hateful speech slide. The nasty undercurrent in the scene isn't a joke or a meme. It's something we need to fix. Mr. Bakhtanians, whose actions during the Cross Assault tournament were captured on video, later issued a statement in which he apologized if he had offended anyone. He also blamed my own ability in the heat of the moment to defend myself and the community I've loved for over 15 years. But the issue raised by the Cross Assault episode gained more attention when Anita Sarkeesian, a feminist writer and speaker, started a campaign in May to raise $6,000 on Kickstarter to document how women are portrayed in video games. Her YouTube and Facebook pages were instantly flooded with hate-filled comments. People tried to hack her online accounts. She received violent personal threats. Ms. Sarkeesian responded by documenting the harassment, posting online the doctored, pornographic images of herself that her attackers had created. Horrified supporters of her efforts donated more than $150,000, further angering her critics. A man from Ontario created an internet game where players could punch her, layering bruises and cuts on her image until the screen turns red. The gaming industry is actually in the process of changing, Ms. Sarkeesian said. That's a really positive thing. But I think there's a small group of male gamers who feel like gaming belongs to them. They are really terrified of that change happening. When Sam Killerman, a gamer in Austin, Texas, saw the reaction to Ms. Sarkeesian's project, something broke through, he said. A few weeks ago, he began a campaign for Gamers Against Bigotry, asking people to sign a pledge supporting more positive behavior. The site received 1,500 pledges before it was hacked, erasing its list of names. Like Ms. Sarkeesian, many women gamers are recording their experiences on blogs like Fat, Ugly, or Slutty, whose name comes from the typical insults women receive while playing against others online. It lists the slurs, threats, and come-ons women receive while playing games like Resident Evil or Gears of War 3. Women report greater levels of harassment in more competitive games involving strangers. Some abandon anonymous play for safer community or clans where good behavior is the norm. In other game communities, however, sexual threats, taunts, and come-ons are common, as is criticism that women's presence is distracting or they are simply trying to seek attention. Some women gamers have been stalked online and in person. James Portnow, a game designer who has worked on titles including Call of Duty and Farmville, wrote an episode about harassment for his animated web series, Extra Credits. In it, the narrator says, "Right now, it's like we gave the school bully access to the intercom system and told him that everyone would hear whatever he had to say. It's time we take away that megaphone." At the end of the video, viewers were encouraged to email Microsoft Xbox Live's team asking for changes to communication tools and improvement to reporting systems. After hearing from gamers, Microsoft called Mr. Portnow and invited him to headquarters. He met with a team of executives, including a vice president, for 4 hours, and they discussed how Microsoft was developing better systems for things like automatically muting repeat offenders. Microsoft confirmed it was working toward improvements. For the longest time, people have seen games as a children's pastime, and we as an industry have stood behind this idea, said Mr. Portnow, who will be speaking on a gaming convention panel later this month called Ending Harassment in Gaming. But that is not true any longer, he added. We are a gigantic industry, and we have a real effect on the culture. We have to erase this idea that nothing we could possibly do could be negative or hurt people.